Watts Bar Lake, fishing the ACC Crappie Stix Big Crappie Bash. It's a big fish tournament. You basically you weigh in a big fish every hour and potentially win some money each hour. I think this year it's $1,500 per hour, and then the big fish of the entire tournament gets $5 grand. So this is technically day 2 of pre-fishing. I didn't even bother to film day 1 because I only caught one big fish. Watts Bar Lake, 1 pound, 15 ounces, 1 ounce shy of a 2-pounder. He's gonna go back. Probably not gonna win any money for the tournament. They probably gotta be over 2. See you, buddy. I was very disappointed that my old spots from the years past really didn't have much on it. So this video, I felt like just breaking down how you go about fishing basically a new lake or a lake you haven't fished in a long time. Targeting potentially deep fish, shallow fish, and then pieces of cover that crappie hold to pretty much year round, so it doesn't matter the season. Right now it's the last week of April, getting into the first week of May. The big fish that I did catch, which was just under 2 pounds, I'm pretty sure it did have some eggs in it, but a lot of the fish, a lot of the females I have been catching that were in a little bit deeper water, they seem to be spawned out. So it's like we're right in the mix of they're either in the late stages of pre-spawn or spawning, and some of them are post-spawn. So trying to find those pre-spawn or the early spawning fish, it's going to be the ticket to win some money for this tournament. So this video I'm just going to kind of show you side imaging, kind of what I'm looking for on some of these feeder creeks in deeper water versus shallow water. There's actually only one bridge on this lake. I don't think I'm going to run that far. So I'm going to show you scanning a bridge from when I was fishing down in Texas about a month ago. Kind of what that looks like and what crappie look like on a bridge. And then I'll go through the rod and reel setup that I'm using for today, or basically for the whole tournament. Kind of decide what's going to work out the best here. I'm going to start with the back of the feeder creeks. This time of year, typically in the spring on a highland reservoir like this, you're going to start in the mouth of the feeder creek. That's where they're going to stage for pre-spawn a lot of these bigger fish. As we get into the spawning phase, they'll push back into the farthest back parts of the feeder creek, set up on beds, or they'll spawn on timber or something like that. And then as you get to the post-spawn, they'll push back out kind of towards the mouth of those feeder creeks. A lot of the fish I've been finding have been right at the mouth of the feeder creek, but I have seen some good fish kind of further back into the shallow part. I just couldn't get them to bite. So to explain a little bit further how I'm kind of breaking down a body of water I haven't fished in about a year, or if you've never fished one of these bigger highland reservoirs. In the pre-spawn phase, a lot of these crappie are going to be stacked up. This is a big feeder creek kind of going in here. They're going to be stacked up right at the mouth of this feeder creek, typically somewhere along that creek channel, depending on the time of year and where you are in the US. So if you're down in Texas, this pre-spawn is probably like late February, early March time frame. Tennessee, you're probably looking like late March to mid-April, mid to late April, depending on how cool or warm that spring is. And way up north where I am in Wisconsin, this pre-spawn phase is probably like late April to maybe early May. And a lot of times if you do find a reservoir like this where it's got some feeder creeks, that's where these crappie are going to stack up. They're going to push back into the shallow area, kind of like back in this big spawning flat. I marked a couple brush piles way back in there. I didn't catch any big fish on there. I believe I caught a couple really small fish on those shallower brush piles, but as they get into their spawning phase, they're going to move back in there, and then as they go back into post-spawn, once they get done off their beds, they're going to push back out towards the middle part of the creek channel here. And as you get into the summer pattern, they're actually going to push back out towards the mouth of the creek channel. They're probably just going to roam the creek channel, and then occasionally you'll probably find them on brush piles, specifically on the points. So there's 2 areas that I was finding fish going into the tournament. You see there's kind of islands sticking out here, and then there's points sticking out towards the creek channel and actually towards the mouth of the creek channel. That's where I'm marking a lot of brush. Could be during the flooding season, driftwood comes off these islands or off these points, gets pulled into the main part of the lake. Oftentimes, guys, this is where they drop brush piles, right on these points. If you notice kind of over here, I do remember catching some fish on that brush pile. So start at the mouth of the creek channel, use your side scan, work your way in, but focus on these main lake points sticking out. That's probably going to be your first bet. during that pre-spawn phase, also that post-spawn, and even to the summer fishing patterns. Points like this, right on the mouth of those creek channels, can be really, really good, can hold some crappie. As you get into the summer part, they're gonna probably drift out in the main creek channel and just kind of roam around chasing bait fish, but that is what I'm looking for on a map. All right, so you notice there's a bunch of points sticking out into the main river basin. And I might have scanned this, I'm not sure if I did or not, but little points like this, oftentimes if you can find a piece of brush, especially like pre-spawn, early pre-spawn and like late post-spawn into the summer, that's where you're gonna find some fish. So over the years that I've been fishing Watts Bar Lake, a lot of my bigger fish have came off these little points. If I can find a piece of brush on a main lake point that's right near the mouth of a feeder creek. So this is a good example. I got a feeder creek going back in to the left of my screen here. There's a couple submerged humps, submerged islands, and main lake points that kind of stick out. If I can find brush on those little points, odds are real good there's gonna be a big fish or two on them. But I do wanna show you side imaging. So this is actually, I scanned this on Sam Rayburn, doing this exact same thing, working my way up feeder creeks. And here I was actually focusing on hard turns in the feeder creek itself, but it's basically the same thing. The hard turn creates a point, and oftentimes that's where brush piles get dropped off. So this is kind of what they look like. I was actually able to set up with a bobber and jig setup here, fishing these. I think these are about 15 to 18 feet of water, but this is what they look like on side imaging. It's just brush pile fishing is just a great style of fishing throughout the pre-spawn all the way into early summer pattern. Once you get to mid-summer pattern, you can definitely find fish on brush piles, but I would probably focus more on bridges at that point, because you got a wider range of depth to cover. So typically on the bridge, if you get real shallow during the night, early morning hours, late evening hours, and probably out through the night, those crappie will probably be in the shallower part of the water, 6 to 10 feet of water on that bridge. As you get in the main part of the day, like midday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, those crappie are actually going to shift out, and they only might suspend 8 to 10 feet below the surface, but they might be over 25 or 30 feet of water at that point, or deeper. Like you could have a bridge with 70 feet of water, but those crappie are only down 10 to 15 feet during the early summer patterns. Dropping it right on their head. There's one. Oh, is that a big one or not? No. Shoot. That is not going to win us any tournament money. I know I caught a 2-pounder off here earlier this week, so there's got to be one digging in there. That might be it. That might be him. It's a good crappie, but it's not our big crappie. I don't think so. Nope. That guy's only a pound. Dang. That 2-pounder I caught earlier this week, I was really hoping it was going to be here. But, yeah, that guy's only about a pound. I can throw him on the scale, make sure our scale works. Ooh. Yep, oh, 1 pound even. 1 pound even. It was dead on. All right, well, I don't know if spot number 1 is going to work out here. Fortunately, I only have 2 spots. I got here and I got right over there. Looks like there's a boat over there. He's not quite where I was, but he's close. I don't know, I might just maybe find a roamer in this cove. Maybe that big one's still down there, just hasn't bit yet. Oh, if that's a crappie, that's a big one. I don't know if it is though. He turned funny and it looked more like a catfish. Ooh, if this is a crappie, it's a 3-pounder, but I think it's a catfish. Shoot. Just by the way he's holding down. He's not really rolling though. He's digging. Oh, there he's rolling. Oh, he came off. Let's see, we got any slime? Yeah, that was a catfish. You can tell they got slime on the line now. It's sitting right there. There was 2 of them really high suspended up, but went to 1/16 ounce jig head. Just trying something different because 1/8 ounce and 3/16 ounce they won't even look at. Oh, yes, that might be him. I don't know. Oh, it's a good one. Get in here, dude. If it's anywhere close to 1/9, this guy is going back with me to weigh in for hour number 2. There we go. I think he's going to be like a 1/8, but still, I'm going to weigh him in. I think that was the one I was waiting for. I just had to downsize to the 1/16. And let's see. Clear scale. What do we got? 112. That's a 175. All right. I think we still got some time though. I think I still got some time. So this is gonna be green. Gonna have to weigh him in hour 2. The cool thing about last night at the dinner and the rules instruction stuff, they kind of gave a breakdown of last year. And first hour of the day, only like 6 people weighed in. Second hour, only like 4 people weighed in. So that might win some money. It's a little light. I would definitely like it to be more towards 2, but not going to complain since my practice did not go well. But let's see if there's another one down there. I think there is. All right, we got 9:03 right now. So the second hour already started. I'm gonna weigh that one in the second hour. So at about 9:30, I'm gonna make my run back if I can't find another fish. But oh yeah, there's a bigger fish down there. There's a couple of them actually. I'm gonna head out. Is it 307?
No,
oh. Gosh.
Go ahead, if you don't, just off of here, just that way don't miss it.
Oh, yep.
Okay, grab the fish, and the number is 4. 004. Nice fish. Grab the fish.
What's the lock out?
What was it?
180.
180.
Yes, sir.
Lock out there.
And they're going to want a photo. All right. We'll see you next hour, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay. Thanks for that.
We're in a 1.80, right on 1.80, right on the money. Maybe. They said nothing over 2 pounds was weighed, so I got a shot. We'll see. I gotta retie. This is a crappie, it's a nice one. And it's a drum. Shoot. I was gonna say, thing thumped it. just the wrong species. Wrong species of fish. Oh, yep, there we go. That might be a good one. See what this guy is. Seems a little light. I'm guessing £1.5 pounds. It's a 1.2. Yeah. Keep him, but he's gonna be light. Well, he's a 1.25 pounds. I'll keep him. Might as well weigh him if I got nothing else. I'm going to talk about the rod and reel setups I was using. Basically the same setup, the only differences was the jig weight size. So I started out most of the trip with a 3/16 ounce jig head size, went to a 1/8, and then during the tournament I went to the 1/16, and it seems like that slower fall rate, that's what triggered a lot of bites. Sometimes you just got to slow down the approach. Even though everything else was the same, I went from, well, the rods were a little bit different, 6.5, 7 foot and 7.5 foot rods, and then 1,000 size reels with 6-pound copolymer on them. I found really good luck with any minnow pattern or shad pattern that is that like milk pattern. I think I was using the Crappie monster milk pattern, but any type of milk pattern, natural bait color pattern works really well on Watts Bar Lake that time of year. That's a crappie, that's a good one. £2 pounds, 2 ounces. Well, my chesty died, but that fish, let's see if we can clean that up for you. That fish weighed in at 2.20. And there was another fish in the bucket that looked like it might have been a little bit bigger, but I don't know. We'll find out here in about 10 minutes if I won the hour. There's more big fish down here, so let's get back to it. So even though I missed out on a check by 0.04 pounds, yes, 4/100ths of a pound, congratulations to the person that did win it in the 6th hour. He won it with a 2.24 pound crappie. Very nice fish. I still have fun fishing the tournament. It's always fun to go into Tennessee, get out of the cold weather of Wisconsin, just go find some big crappie on Watts Bar Lake. If you're wanting to fish this tournament, it's typically always the last weekend in April. So, and also I think entries start somewhere in the fall. Matt Zenas runs the tournament. He's Wired for Crappie on YouTube. Typically he makes an announcement, I think around October, maybe early November time frame, that applications or entries are open. He sends out a link. It's also typically published on the Facebook page for ACC Crappie Stix as well. So if you're interested in doing that next year, be sure to be on the lookout later this fall for signups or early signups, and hopefully I'll see you there next year.